Hello again. So in this video, we're looking at what are independent events, also known as the AND rule. And if you go back a video, we would have been looking at the opposite of this called the OR rule. Okay, let's look at this here. What are independent events? They are where the outcome of one event does not affect the outcome of the other. In other words, if events A and B are independent, we can multiply them. So the chance of getting A and then the chance of getting B, you can multiply those events. So let's look at this. In this first question, a coin and a die are thrown. So they're two separate things. Find the probability of getting a head and then also the probability of getting a three. Well, we know the probability of a head on a coin is 1 out of 2, and we know the probability of getting a 3 on a die is 1 out of 6. They are independent. What we can do now is multiply those two events together. So the chance of getting a head and a 3 are half multiplied by 1/6, and that gives us 1 over 12. So there's a 1/12th chance of getting a head and a 3. And if you want to check that, you could draw a sample space to see whether you get that same outcome. The second question, three dice are thrown. What is the chance of getting three sixes? Well, again, the chance of getting a 6 on any dice that is fair is 1 over 6. So what is the chance of getting a 3, a 3, and a 3? It is 1 out of 6 multiplied by 1 out of 6 multiplied by 1 out of 6. And if you do that, you'll get 1 out of 216. Just notice what I should have done that other question there was actually showing the chance of getting a head and then a 3 equals. So that's it simply. They're independent events. And when you get independent events, you can multiply. So when I can get this and I can get that, we can multiply the probabilities of each to get our answer. Let's look at a second question. So in this question here, we've been given some letters for the word probability. So if these letters were written on individual cards, put in a deck and then shuffled, so we don't know the order of these. If a card is chosen at random, then replaced, well, that's a key word there. So that card's put back in, and then another card is taken. What is the chance or the probability that both cards are B? So first of all, what is the chance of getting a B in the word probability? So the chance of getting a B or the probability of getting a B in the word probability is 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the chance of getting a B is 2 out of 11. So what is the chance of getting a B? That card's replaced. Remember, it's put back in the pack and then getting a second B. It is 2 out of 11 multiplied by 2 out of 11. So that becomes 4 out of 121. Let's look at this second question. What is the chance of both cards being vowels? Well, right, so we're looking for A, E, I, O, U. So I'll put those underneath here. A, E, I, O, U. There's one, another there, and another there. So there are 4 of them out of 11. So the chance of getting an A, an E, an I, an O, or a U is equal to 4 out of 11. So what is the chance of both cards being one of those? Well, the chance of one being a vowel and then the other being a vowel is 4 out of 11 multiplied by 4 out of 11, and that is 16 out of 121. Okay, let's move this forward one more. Now, this is exactly the same question, but I've highlighted the change. The word here is not replaced. So in that previous question, we replaced the cards and then calculated it. In this one, we're not replacing the cards. So let's be careful with this one. We're looking at card 1. So we're selecting card 1. What is the chance for card 1 of being a B? Well, it's exactly the same as it was before. There are 2 Bs out of 11. So the chance of the card being a B is 2 out of 11. Let's say that card has been selected. We're now looking at picking a second card. What is the chance of getting a B now? Well, we've taken 1B out, so we're now left with 1B out of 10 cards. So in this case, the chance of getting a B, remember the card's not replaced, and then getting a second B is 2 out of 11 multiplied by 1 out of 10, and that gives 2 out of 110. Very different when you don't replace the card. Right, so now we're going to look at question B. Both cards are vowels. Now, if you remember, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 vowels in the word probability. So if we pick the first card, the chance of getting a vowel is 4 out of 11. And therefore, if we've taken one out, for the second card, the chance of getting a vowel is now 3 out of 10. So therefore, the chance of getting a vowel and then followed by a vowel is now 4 out of 11 multiplied by 3 out of 10, and that is 12 out of 110. And that can be simplified. So the key thing here is to remember if things are replaced or they are not replaced. Because if they're not replaced, the probabilities changed. If they are replaced, the probabilities stay the same. As always, if you've got something from that, please like and subscribe. And the last video on probability is all about probability trees.